Welcome to the Wize Solutions Scissor Lift Safety Training and Certification. My name is Billy Campbell. I am the Director of Safety. Here's your course. In order to be a certified scissor lift operator for Wize Solutions, you must complete the following. Complete the Wize Solution Scissor Lift Operator Online Classroom Training. Upon completion of the online classroom training, you will be required to take a written exam and score 80% or higher. You will then go over hands-on training with your supervisor, and upon completion of your hands-on training, they will have you conduct a driving test. They will sign off on your driving test. Once I receive both the written exam with an 80% or higher and a signed off driving test by your supervisor, I will issue you a driver's license and a certificate for the scissor lift your supervisor has authorized you to operate.
Good evening. We start sports tonight with a tragic accident in South Bend. A 21-year-old Notre Dame student has died. He was filming the Irish football practice this afternoon when the hydraulic scissor lift he was standing on collapsed in the winds, gusting around 50 miles per hour, according to the National Weather Service. Right now, police are not releasing the name of that student.
There are an average of 8 scissor lift fatalities each year in the United States. 405 of these fatalities are from tip over of the scissor lifts. Tipping over is the most common way to die while operating a scissor lift. Here at Wize Solutions, due to the nature of the business, the busy op tempo of the job sites, understanding how to operate the scissor lift safely and without incident is critical on a Wize Solutions job site. Scissor lifts are critical to operations in all departments of Wize Solutions. Critical to pay attention to this training, your supervisor's hands-on instructions, and Wize Solutions JHAs. Wize Solutions wants our scissor lift operators to come to work safe and go home to their families safe. Please review the listed top 10 casualties of fatalities involving a scissor lift. Continue to review the top 10 causes of scissor lift fatalities. Wize Solutions Scissor Lift Basics Part 2. A scissor lift, also referred by ANSI, not yet adopted by OSHA, is a mobile elevating work platform, a machine device intended for moving persons, tools, and materials to working positions consisting of at least a work platform with controls and extending structure and chassis. A scissor lift, or mobile elevated working platform Group A, is where the platform always stays within the tipping lines of chassis, a common and vital tool for Wize Solutions operations. A mobile elevated work platform Group B, referred to as a boom lift or cherry picker, is where the platform extends outside the tipping lines of the chassis. This type of mobile elevated work platform is used at times by the dock and door department. Wize Solutions uses electric, propane, and diesel-fueled scissor lifts. Wize Solutions has an approved IH plan for our PIT program for non-electric scissor lift if required by the general contractor. The non-electric scissor lift has the greater load capacity when lifting materials to be installed. Wize Solutions operations will make the determination as to what type of scissor lift will be used and what type specifically for the work environment. Wize Solutions scissor lift operators are required to always have the operator's manual on the equipment. I will ask the operators to show me the manual when I am on site. This is a safety audit item. Wize Solutions scissor lifts must have the nameplate visible with low capacity. How many are allowed on the lift and when restrictions displayed. I will test the operators when I am on site. It is critical on Wize Solutions job sites the scissor lifts are always level. Wize Solutions scissor lift operators, as part of both their hands-on with their supervisor and driving test, will have to demonstrate they know how to operate the manual release valve in case of an emergency. Wize Solutions depends on the use of scissor lift. It is required that all scissor lift operators know and understand the hazards working on the scissor lift. Wize Solutions requires that personnel working in the scissor lift will wear authorized fall protection equipment when conducting operations. This requires, in addition to a scissor lift operator to be trained and certified, they also need to be trained and certified Wize Solutions fall protection. Anchor to approved anchor points in the scissor lift. The railing is not an approved anchor point. At certain Wize Solution work sites, pending the scale of the activity, elevated work areas where scissor lifts are used will be taped off. Certain personnel will be authorized to enter the taped off area. Identified tools will be tethered to the person. No personnel are authorized to work underneath the scissor lift while it is raised and elevated work is being conducted. If any kind of work needs to happen below the scissor lift, communication, stop the elevated work. Make sure all tools and materials are secured inside the scissor lift platform. Once groundwork is completed and personnel are no longer in the drop zone, the elevated work can continue. For as high as the work is being conducted, the drop zone is equivalent to that height, meaning anything that is dropped from that height, the impact hazard and distance of the object flying when it hits the ground will be equal, if not more, from the height the object was dropped. Scissor lift personnel need to be attentive to all their surroundings. Wize Solutions scissor lift operators need to have their head on a swivel. Prior to any movement or operations, look up, look left, look right, and look down. See the hazard, and in that brief second, conduct a risk analysis of how to mitigate those possible hazards, not just electrical, but also other obstacles. Another training that you will be required to take is tool safety and power tool safety. Inspecting your tools prior to using daily is a requirement. Make sure your power tools are double insulated. Scissor lift operators need to be cognizant of their surroundings. The hazards of crushing is constant with the racking systems. The scissor lift has to maneuver and the overhangs. These steel structures are not forgiving. Another hazard when operating a scissor lift is pinch hazards. Your supervisor, when going over the hands-on, will outline how to protect yourself from these hazards during pre-shift inspections and normal daily operations. Know the hazards. At all Wize Solutions job sites, there is constant traffic. Communication is the key and always cognizant of the hazards surrounding. Stay on the alert and do not get fixed in or complacent to the basic job. Wize Solutions Scissor Lift Operations Part 4. The scissor lift operator is responsible for the safety of their additional employee in the scissor lift. The other employee in the scissor lift is responsible for executing good communication and taking directions from the operator when it comes to moving and positioning the scissor lift. Pending the authorized number of personnel working on the scissor lift, per the nameplate, both will be trained and certified to operate the scissor lift and know how to lower the scissor lift in an emergency. The supervisor will be responsible for the hands-on training of the scissor lift. They will also go over with the scissor lift operator as to what is expected of them, and supervisors will be responsible that the scissor lift operator stays within Wize Solutions scissor lift operation standards. Supervisors will go over the JHA with the scissor lift operator, so they know and understand the task, the hazards conducting their task, and how they are to operate and mitigate that hazard. Wize Solutions dock and doors do work outside using the scissor lift. Not normally is racking and automations working outside. However, the doors are open for ventilation. The scissor lift operator need to know what is the wind speed limit of the scissor lift they are operating. When I am on site, I will be asking this to confirm the operator has conducted their pre-shift inspection and they know where to obtain that information. They will have to demonstrate by showing me on the nameplate the wind speed limit. Scissor lifts are not stable. They sway from movement. Only the slight bit of environmental changes could cause a scissor lift to tip over. Scissor lift operators need to walk the area they will be conducting operations. This must be part of the routine. Prior to putting next sections of racking or installing dock levelers, get out and walk the area. If need be, cone a hazard or whatever means so that the scissor does not go into that marked area. Wize Solutions will document the pre-shift inspection if the general contractor requires. OSHA does not dictate an actual documented inspection. However, they do require a pre-shift inspection. Therefore, Wize will conduct pre-shift inspections prior to operations daily as indicated in this training, and the hands-on training your supervisor will go over with you. If the general contractor requires a pre-shift inspection, use the Wize Solutions Cognito Equipment Inspection Form or form provided by the general contractor. The scissor lift operator, prior to conducting operations, must make sure and verify the controls of the scissor lift and the required functions are all working properly. It is not good to find out that controls are failing while an operator is up in an elevated position. The scissor lift operators need to communicate with each other as well as personnel nearby. If at all possible, when a section of the work is completed, if movement needs to happen for another section, lower the scissor lift to the ground, then move it to the next area location. Both scissor lift operators communicate when raising or lowering. If working with another scissor lift in transporting material to an elevated installation area, and an arm signal in raising and lowering. Make sure if possible materials is secured by a tie down prior to moving the scissor lift up and down. Communication, communication, communication. At Wize Solutions, fall protection training covers operations in the scissor lift. It is not authorized to stand on the railing, but in certain circumstances, if at any time the scissor lift operator has to climb out of the scissor lift to walk in the system to install, the fall protection training and supervisor hands-on training will cover the authorized methods. Supervisor, when conducting the hands-on training, will go over how to properly store the scissor lift when operations are concluded.
Employers must have a rescue plan that covers equipment failure and a fall from the platform. This plan must return a fallen or stranded worker to the ground safely and quickly. For equipment failure, there are two major options. The operator can switch to the backup control system and lower the platform to the ground. If the backup controls do not work, the secondary manual emergency descent controls can be utilized to release the hydraulic pressure and lower the platform. Fall protection is required on all Group B work platforms. The employer must have a plan, in writing, that explains the methods for rescuing a person who has fallen from the platform. There are three main options for rescue. Self-rescue utilizes special equipment that allows the employee to rescue themselves. Assisted rescue relies on other employees in the work area for rescue. This may involve using the bottom controls to lower the platform, or using another elevated work platform to reach the fallen worker. If another vehicle is used for rescue, a qualified supervisor must conduct a site review, and develop a specific plan for use of the vehicle for rescue. Technical rescue involves using emergency services to perform rescue. Employers who rely on emergency services must verify they have the knowledge and equipment to perform the rescue. Emergency services must also be available and able to arrive in an appropriate amount of time. If the platform becomes entangled, the employees must be removed from the platform before any attempts are made to free the vehicle. Vehicles that have tipped must be stabilized and secured before rescue is attempted.
Supervisors conducting the hands-on training will go over the rescue plan when operating the scissor lift. The rescue plan will have to be established before any job starts. Scissor lift operators will have to demonstrate proficiency in executing a rescue per the rescue plan. As stated in previous slides, Wize Solutions personnel will have fall protection on when operating a scissor lift. This concludes the scissor lift online classroom training.